Now at 5, Missouri's marijuana laws change today. We'll break down what's currently legal and what's not. Plus, how a Joplin-based organization is partnering with Fox 14 to combat hunger in the 4 states. And
WNBA star Brittany Griner is on her way home after the Biden administration negotiated a prisoner swap with Russia. I'm Deborah Alfarone at the White House with the path that lies ahead for Griner.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Beginning today, it's lawful for adults to possess and use marijuana in Missouri, but that does not mean you can legally buy it just yet or use it everywhere. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Dow Quick. Medical marijuana has been legal in Missouri since a ballot measure passed in 2018. But voters went a step further this November by approving a constitutional amendment legalizing the drug for anyone 21 or older. The change comes with some confusion. For one thing, dispensaries can't yet sell for recreational use. People will eventually be able to grow their own, but applications to do so won't be taken until next month. And places such as schools and businesses can still prohibit the drug. Authorities in Aurora, Missouri said the investigation into a robbery at a McDonald's last week has led to more arrests connected to other robberies. 2 people were arrested last week after the robbery, and now 3 more have been arrested for robberies outside of Aurora. Those suspects are 19-year-old Elijah Smith, 18-year-old Kyle Carlisle, and a juvenile. All are charged with robbery. Miami, Oklahoma residents today had a chance to voice their concerns about flooding issues in the city. The lead agency, a Miami-based nonprofit, hosted a survey today about the regular flooding problems. It's in response to the GRDA's request to raise lake levels by 2 feet, which the lead agency says will cause more flooding.
Also, how many want help? They're ready for help. How many would want to buy out? How many want to stay in their homes but would love the help to raise it up so they be out of floodwater?
The lead agency plans to report the survey's findings to the GRDA. Crosslines Ministry in Joplin teams up with Fox 14's Feed the 4 States to help those who need a little help this holiday season. Crosslines Ministry is a donation-based food pantry that helps the community year-round. Families are struggling to get by with the rising prices of food this holiday season. Crosslines feeds about 2,000 people a month, and a drop in donations makes it hard for them to help the community.
It's been a great opportunity for us just to share with the community just about the struggle that many of our neighbors experience this time of year.
To learn more about Crosslines Ministries or to donate, go to our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Let's check in with Doug for a first look.
Well, it definitely turned out to be another dreary day for us today. We had the on and off showers last night into the morning hours. Kind of drizzle for us this afternoon, but it is actually warmer. We're kind of low to mid 50s, upper 50s in our southern counties. So we've warmed up a bit compared to what we have seen over the past couple days. Fog trying to build back in. You can see it thickening up on the Kansas and the Oklahoma side through the metro. Not so bad, but we are going to have patchy fog once again tonight. So if you're going to be on the roadways, watch out. Plus, we have some drizzle, some spotty little showers in our northern counties. I do think we'll see a few showers developing into southwestern Missouri as we go through the evening hours. Temperatures slowly drop back through the 50s, but eventually down into lower 40s later on tonight. Lots of rain chances to talk about. We'll do that here in just a bit.
See you then. President Biden announced today that Brittany Griner is safe and on her way home. The WNBA star was released from Russian detention as part of a prisoner swap. Deborah Alfarone reports on the breakthrough and the other prisoner left behind.
Brittany Griner's wife, Sherelle, joined President Biden at the White House to announce the WNBA star's release from a Russian prison.
Today is just a happy day for me and my family, so I'm going to smile right now.
Griner was freed as part of a prisoner swap, the U.S. releasing the notorious Russian arms dealer Victor Bout in exchange. Left out of the deal was former Marine Paul Whelan, who has been held since 2018 on espionage charges. After news of Griner's release, Whelan had a message for the president.
I would hope that he and his administration would do everything they could to get me home, regardless of the price they might have to pay at this point.
Whelan's brother said in a statement that the administration made the right decision, but that the family is still devastated. Brittany is free and Paul is still a hostage. The White House had hoped for a prisoner swap that would include both Americans, but the State Department says the choice was to bring home only Griner or no one at all.
Sadly, for totally illegitimate reasons, Russia is treating Paul's case differently than Brittany's. And while we have not yet succeeded in securing Paul's release, we are not giving up.
The exchange took place on an airport tarmac in the United Arab Emirates 10 months after Griner's arrest on drug charges. Senior administration officials say she is in good health and was all smiles at her release, eager to return to her family and the basketball court. Deborah Alfarone, CBS News, Washington.
Now, criticism of that prisoner swap has centered on the release of that Russian arms dealer, Victor Bout, who was serving a 25-year sentence for conspiring to sell weapons with the intent to harm Americans. The House today gave final approval to protections for same-sex and interracial marriages. The vote sends the legislation to President Joe Biden, a monumental step in a decades-long battle for nationwide recognition of such unions. The law requires all states to recognize same-sex marriages, a relief for hundreds of thousands of couples who have married since the Supreme Court's 2015 decision legalizing those marriages. The bipartisan legislation would also protect interracial unions by requiring states to recognize legal marriages regardless of sex, race, ethnicity, or national origin. Biden is expected to sign that measure into law. The FBI's ongoing hunt for classified documents that were possibly removed from the White House by former President Donald Trump has uncovered at least 2 more documents from a storage facility in Florida. According to a U.S. official, the documents were marked classified and were inside a sealed box. This new discovery comes just months after hundreds of documents were seized from Mr. Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate. Sheila had some tips to make the most out of your money moves before the end of the year. And next in Health Watch, hospitals across the country are filling up as 3 illnesses spread quickly. Topping today's Health Watch, a growing triple threat of illnesses is putting millions of people at risk. Reported COVID-19 hospitalizations are up more than 20% just in the past week. The flu is also spiking, with more than 1/4 of the nation's lab results coming back positive. And cases of RSV are also way up. Hospitalizations for that respiratory illness have more than quadrupled from last year. Reporter Carter Evans has details.
And that other one's going to go up to 18.
Here at the Mass General Hospital for Children in Boston, the pediatric ICU is at 100% capacity, and most of the patients here are on oxygen or ventilators.
This past year has been unlike any other years in the past, with RSV season starting way much earlier.
RSV, or respiratory syncytial virus, is surging along with the flu and COVID-19 infections nationwide. Megan's 10-week-old son, Jack, has been hospitalized with RSV for nearly a week after he began having trouble breathing.
His belly was kind of sinking into his lower ribs, so that was the first really kind of big, scary moment. It's really scary as a parent to see that happening to your baby.
Stick out your tongue. Good.
While RSV may be peaking, it's the worst flu season in more than a decade, coming as COVID cases are again on the rise.
The ER is inundated with cases, and people are being hospitalized.
In Los Angeles County, COVID cases have soared 75% in just the last week. Douglas Chiriboga is a family medicine doctor, and he says the implications are clear.
Should there be another mandate in LA County?
I think there should be, and I think eventually we're going to have that mask mandate.
Doctors say all 3 of the now prevalent viral infections sweeping the country could be slowed by mask wearing, and the time is now to get your flu shot and COVID booster. So far, fewer than 13% of Americans have received their updated boosters, a bad diagnosis, according to Dr. Chiriboga.
It tells me that people are not getting the message.
It can take a couple of weeks after you get your vaccine to become fully protected, so there is just enough time now right before all of those holiday parties
And we have some good news about baby Jack. He's expected to go home with his mother today. Carter Evans, CBS News, Santa Monica.
Genetic predisposition to attention deficit hyperactivity disorder can predict cognitive decline later in life. That's according to researchers at the University of Pittsburgh School of Medicine. Doctors say more study is needed to determine if intervention treatment for ADHD can impact the future risk of developing Alzheimer's. People of color and those living with low incomes are less likely to use insulin pumps to help manage type 1 diabetes. That's according to UCLA researchers. This comes even as overall insulin pump usage has improved significantly in the last 20 years. The study authors say lack of access to the life-saving technology is causing that disparity. And incorporating yoga into your regular exercise regimen could greatly improve your heart health. In a new study, Canadian doctors found yoga is more effective than stretching for cardiovascular health and overall well-being. Researchers believe their findings show yoga is a viable option to help manage high blood pressure. And that is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, how a leak in a major U.S. pipeline is raising those prices at the pump ahead of Christmas.
Plus, we have more rain, which is going to move in over the next 24 to 36 hours. We're going to break that down for you coming up. Well, of course, another gloomy day for us today. We haven't seen the sunshine in quite some time. We may get a little bit of it for us tomorrow, but we do have more rain in the forecast, even more rain as we go through the evening hours. Nice shot, Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, of course, socked in with the clouds. A little bit of fog out there, a little bit of drizzle as well. We did get some rain last night into the morning hours, which was good. So almost a half an inch. We're a little over a half an inch for the month, for the year 41, but we're still about 2.5 inches behind. And we still have the drought situation, especially on the Kansas and the Oklahoma side. Not a whole bunch going on out there. We have a few light little showers in our northern counties, but I do think this is going to kind of flare up as we go through the evening hours, especially on the Missouri side with scattered showers. Temperatures warmer, 58 in Neosho, 55 in Chetopa, Pittsburgh 53. We have Veneta at 58 degrees, and we also have some fog building in, especially on the Kansas side. Visibility's under a mile. You can see only about 1/4 of a mile in Girard. But once you get in southwestern Missouri, not much of any fog, but I do think we'll see patchy fog building in just about everywhere later on tonight. 58, calm winds, humidity up there at 90%. Clouds, scattered showers through the evening. Clouds will start to break up later on tonight. Plus our temperatures are going to drop lower down to about 41 for an overnight low. So again, scattered showers trying to flare up southwestern Missouri. You can see our little area of low pressure across Nebraska, snow across the northern plains, so rain will start to develop a little bit farther south. We'll get rid of this system. Here's our system for tomorrow night. Right behind it, here's another storm system which will start to affect us on Monday and Tuesday of next week. All right, let's go through time. Scattered showers, here's 8 p.m. Mainly southwestern Missouri, quickly roll out. Clouds start to break up. Here's midnight, and then with some clearing, our temperatures drop into lower 40s. We start the day with some sunshine, then here come the clouds again. So by the afternoon, we're going to have mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures a little bit cooler than today, but still not bad. 41 to start, 48 by noon. Cloudy skies in the afternoon, high temps 52, 53 degrees. Northwesterly winds at about 5 to 10. But here comes the rain tomorrow night. Here's midnight. You can see showers, maybe a few isolated little thunderstorms embedded in. Start to push in. Could get some heavy amounts of rain along and south of the I-44 corridor. Again, rain lasts into Saturday morning, and then I think we'll start to clear out once we get into Saturday afternoon. Maybe a little bit of sunshine late, but we are going to get another bout of rain. All right, so rain chances, the slight chances this evening. Then they go down. Look how they shoot up. So here is 11 p.m. and then we can go to 2 a.m., 5 a.m. heading into Saturday morning. And again, we need the rain. Rainfall amounts should be decent. Once again, I think a lot of us, 1/4 of an inch in our northern counties and then 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch once you get into our southern counties. 53 tomorrow, 53 Saturday, morning rain. Sunday, chilly, but looks pretty good. Rain starts developing on Monday, thunderstorms on Tuesday, and then turning drastically colder. So at 6 o'clock tonight, we're going to break down the storm system early next week, because we do actually have at least a low severe threat.
Really, something we certainly need to keep an eye on. Anyway.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Doug. Coming up, some end-of-the-year money-saving tips. First, though, we honor a local veteran. Roy Cash II served in the U.S. Navy from 1971 to 2002. The Neodesha, Kansas native was stationed in Vietnam and Iraq, and we salute Electronics Warfare Technician Senior Chief Petty Officer Roy Cash II, a four-state hero. Topping today's Consumer Watch, the Keystone Pipeline system has been shut down after a leak was discovered near the Kansas-Nebraska state line. The pipeline is a 2,700-mile system that delivers Canadian and U.S. oil to major refineries all across America. Canada's TC Energy announced it launched an emergency shutdown of the pipeline last night after alarms triggered and pressure dropped in the system. TC Energy said in a statement there has been a, quote, confirmed release of oil into a creek south of Steel City, Nebraska, and that they're working to contain and prevent the leak from further spreading. General Motors plans to put thousands of electric vehicle chargers in rural America. The plan to install up to 40,000 chargers comes amid GM's plan to sell exclusively zero-emission passenger vehicles by 2035. Those won't be so-called level 3 fast chargers, the ones that can charge an EV to 80% of its battery capacity in a half hour or so. Instead, GM is going to be putting in slower level 2 chargers, which are still relatively powerful. The new year is approaching, and it's a good time to take a look at your finances. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger has some money-saving tips.
With just a few weeks to go before the end of 2022, it's time to make smart money moves right now. Instead of splurging on the holidays, consider maximizing your pre-tax retirement plan contributions before the end of the year. You'll reduce your tax bill and save for the future. While you're thinking about taxes, use the IRS's withholding estimator to see if you set aside enough money to pay your tax bill in April. If not, notify your payroll department to increase your withholding through the end of the year. If you're not working or you're self-employed, you may want to make an estimated tax payment to reduce or eliminate potential tax penalties. And if you have contributed to a pre-tax retirement account like a 401k or an IRA, the government requires that you take a certain amount of money from the account after you reach age 72. These are called required minimum distributions, or RMDs. Failure to take an RMD results in a 50% penalty on the amount you should have taken. If you have multiple IRAs, you only need to take one RMD based on your age and the total value of the accounts. In New York, I'm CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
Price hikes at Disney World in Florida take effect today. There are now park-specific pricing for one-day, one-park tickets. On its busiest days, the Magic Kingdom will be the most expensive of Disney World's 4 theme parks. Disney said that's because of Magic Kingdom's incredible demand as the most visited theme park in the world. Epcot and Hollywood Studios will also have a different price range depending on the date and the demand. Animal Kingdom, however, will keep its current prices. A final check of the forecast next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, a unique mentorship program helping foster kids prepare for higher education. Then on KOAM News at 6, Joplin police investigate the death of a pedestrian hit by a vehicle. Plus, how the Wesley House in Pittsburgh is partnering with Fox 14's Feed the Four States to combat local hunger. And it's the opening day of the Lady Eagle Classic basketball tournament, and we have the highlights. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. It's not miserable weather out there, but it's kind of dreary.
Yeah, we're going to still have some drizzle, some scattered showers, fog for us tonight. A little bit of sun mainly in the morning tomorrow, more rain tomorrow night through the first half of the day Saturday. Thunderstorms moving in by Tuesday. And then look at this. Look at the temps. The bottom drops out as we head toward next weekend.
Thanks for joining us. The CBS Evening News is next. And of course, we're going to be right back here for KOAM News at 6. See you then. Let's make it a great evening.